but see, in basketball, he's already doing Bevel basketball and Bevel softball with us. What I want to do is get him to the point by mid-season, he's going to be able to do some play-by-play by himself. Because I told him, I said, look, if you can do basketball play-by-play, you can do football. Softball, you'll be able to do in your sleep. Welcome in, everybody, to day 2 of the 2023 Wal-Win Area Media Days presented by WJLX here at the Pie Factory. So happy to have everybody with us. Today, we'll be having 6 teams. The Addison Bulldogs, as you see here, will be starting off with us. Assistant coach Woody Smothers, here to represent. And they went 9-3 last year, second round of the playoffs. Coach, I'm going to allow you to introduce your 2 players. If you can make an opening statement, then we'll open it up to questions.
Okay. Well, I want to start off by appreciate y'all asking us to be here. And anytime you can do anything to promote the kids at a program, it's always a positive. Thank y'all. To my left is Isaiah Treese. He's a senior, be offensive and defensive lineman. To my right is Hayden Holland. He'll be a senior, defensive end, tight end, linebacker. Both of them's been with us their whole career, done a really good job, good kids, hard workers. And, they epitomize what we want Addison football to be.
Coach, to start off with, you've got 2 of your bigger guys, tight ends and linemen here. How is the overall depth and the look of your offensive line this year, which we know on offense, it all starts there?
Right. Well, we've got some. I think we're going to be decent. We've got some seasoned linemen there. They've been in it a long time, and we've got some young kids that's coming up that's going to be able to plug in and play somewhere. We'll have to bring them on slow, and but we've got some kids that's been playing line since they were some 9th graders. Isaiah's a senior. He's played his last 2 or 3 years, and Hayden, he's filled in at tight end when we needed one for the last 2 to 3 years. Caleb Vincent's a 9th grader last year. Will be a 10th grader this year. He played a lot as a freshman. Bradley Willett, he'll be a junior. He played as a sophomore and a freshman. We've got several Tanner Lawrence. He'll play. Bobby Williams. Bobby will be 11th grader, and he's played since he's in the 9th grade. I've got them right here. I don't want to lose, don't want to misplace them. We've got some kids that's young kids. Brody Willingham, Lance Kennedy, Lane Stewart. He'll be playing this year. He'll be a junior. He'll help us out. He's going to help us out at a lot of places. And then you've got Brant Stovall, Bry Dollar, and Cason Hill. All those guys are basically 9th graders, be sophomores. And they'll be able to plug and play, in. And I feel like it'll be one of our strengths this year, hopefully.
Coach Zach McCullough with WJLX. How is it to be in the same region as Meek? How do you feel about having to share a region with the Tigers, especially after all the success they've had in the past couple of seasons?
Well, you got to share a region with somebody. It might as well be somebody 7 miles down the road, which is good. It's a great gate. It's a great atmosphere. Maybe, I feel like it's a great thing. I feel like anytime you can play locals, like we play Winston County every year, and I feel like if we can get to that point with Meek and possibly Lynn, that'd be great. We would be able to develop some really good rivalries with those guys like we do with Winston County.
All right, you mentioned the game with Winston County. How important is it to win that game to open your season in order to build success for the 2023 season?
Well, Winston County's the one that beat us the last 2 years, so it'd be huge on that aspect. Plus, it's always good to win the first game and start your season off on a very positive note. So, yeah, it's very important.
All right, Coach, a final question. What would you say was behind the long-term success that Addison has enjoyed for the past several seasons?
The kids, they just it's I think we've got sort of a tradition there. We pride ourselves on being very physical, very tough. We want to play sound football, sound assignment football, and we've got a community that expects that from our kids, and our kids know that. And our kids put in a lot of hard work, just like everyone else's kids, but. It's a special. We feel like we have a special community, and our community supports them really well. And we've got some good coaches that care about the kids, not just for football. They care about their well-being, and I feel like when you have a good program, as long as we've had one. Of course, we want to get better every year, but it takes more than just the X's and O's and just the weight room. You gotta invest in the kids, and I feel like we've got a lot of teachers, administrators. Business owners, and just the community of Addison invest in these kids, and these kids they give us a good return most of the time.
Hey, Coach, you're a Winston County guy. Have you ever seen this much success between the four schools there, Addison, Lynn, Meek, and Winston County?
My senior year was a long time ago. I think we had every one of them, went to the playoffs. Winston County played for state. No, my junior year. I apologize. Winston County played for state championship. They beat Hazelwood, who beat us in the third round the week before. Meek went to the second or third round, lost to eventual state championship, state champions. And Lynn, I think, went to the first or second round that year. So, no, that was over 30-something years ago. So, no, this was the first. And not only did they all go to the playoffs, they all went. They wasn't first round exits, So yeah, and yeah, I think it was a very competitive year, and something that the citizens of Winston County be proud of.
Yeah, some big crowds at those games.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you see the region shaking down again? Is it going to be the usual suspects?
I really think you're right. I think it'll be the Meek, Hackleburg, us, maybe Bear Creek, and I don't know a lot about the Waterloos and Vinas and Cherokees at this time, but normally, traditionally, Hackleburg fields a strong team. Meek's going to be a strong team again this year, and I hope that we can, give those guys competition and be right up there in the mix with it.
You mentioned it was kind of a young team. Is experience going to be one of the strengths this year?
For us, we lost a lot of experience. Now we've got a lot of experience coming back from our linemen. We only have 5 seniors, so we're young. We have a lot of kids that's going to be able to contribute. But yeah, we're going to have to learn. We're going to get better as we go. But the seniors that are seniors have played for all 3-4 years. So yeah, I feel like we've got some seasoned experience, just not a lot of it.
Guys, I'm going to turn this last question over to the players. As leaders of the team, individually, what would y'all want to see accomplished this year? I know there's always team goals, but as players, what would you want to accomplish this year?
For us to succeed.
For us to make the playoffs and go deep. Playoffs. That's the main goal.
Well, guys, we appreciate so much that y'all coming up with us today. Best of luck, as we'll definitely be watching the Bulldogs this season. Can't wait to see how everything comes out.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Up next, we'll have the Walker County Superintendent, Dennis Willingham, with us after the break. Welcome back, everybody, and now joining us, the superintendent of the Walker County Schools. For the second consecutive year, we have Dennis Willingham, Dr. Dennis Willingham, join us. Dr. Willingham, so wonderful to have you once again, and as I know this is one of the favorite events that came to you last year, and we have you once again here.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for asking me to be a part of this, Brian. I appreciate it. What a great venue here. And it's an opportunity to showcase our coaches and our students and our school communities as well. And you know, it is July, and it's the month is creeping along, so you can feel the excitement in the air. Football is just around the corner, so what a great time to have this program.
Well, talking about our area schools, what's going on big in athletics first and foremost in our county schools and the general state of athletics?
We feel great about where we are with athletics in all of our programs throughout our schools. We won some championships last year. You know, we have 5 high schools in Walker County: Carbon Hill, Cordova, Curry, Door, and Oakman. And we have had success in all 5 of our high schools in recent years. And we're really pleased with the leadership we have, from our administrators to our coaches, even to the parental support that we have in our schools. You know, man, we're just cruising along right now. And we feel that we're getting better and better.
I want to give you an opportunity to brag on academics as well. There's wonderful things going on academically in the Walker County Schools. Touch on that.
Well, you know, we don't just talk about the academic college part of our high schools. We also talk about the technical part of our vocational programs that we have, and we have had state and national recognitions for academics and for our vocational programs that we have in our schools. So we're really excited, man, about the direction we're going. We're really excited for our students. They are being recognized, and that recognition is well deserved. And as I said, this is on the state level and on the national level as well. So we're really excited about the Walker County school system right now.
I'll give you, as a final cutout, I'll let you wish all of our teams good luck this year.
Absolutely, and I do want to say, you know, talking about our coaches, Carbon Hill, we got DJ Emerson. At Cordova, we got Shane Smothers. At Curry, we've got Jace Cordell. We're really excited about Coach Cordell stepping into that head coaching role, and I've known this guy for a very long time, and I'm really excited for him for this opportunity, and I'm excited for the Curry community for what they're getting, the quality of person and coaching they're getting from Coach Cordell. And then at Door, we got Chavis Williams, and at Oatman, we've got Ryan Hall. So I know every one of these guys. I've spent a lot of time with these guys. First of all, they're good fathers. They're family men. They're good fathers. They have good character. And second of all, they know football. So they're organized. They're going to bring organization to these programs, and we're going to see some great things coming from these coaches just because of who they are, what they stand for, and how they work with our kids. And if I may, I do, before I leave, I do want to give a shout out to our bands. Man, our band directors, you know, they're out there sweating in this 100-degree weather with their kids, just like our football teams are, and they're working hard. And then we see that product on Friday night. What would Friday night be like at a football game without our bands? I mean, it just wouldn't be the same. And then let's move over to our cheerleaders and the job they do and the work they put in, and our cheerleading sponsors. So man, it all works together. And then when those Friday night lights come on, it just brings the whole community together. So a lot to be excited about in Walker County with our 5 high schools. I can't wait. You know, I go and see games at all of our schools, and it's something I look forward to every year.
Dr. Willingham, thank you so much for joining us. I know we'll be seeing you on Fridays during football season and then throughout the entire week during the winter and spring. But thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity, Brian. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Up next, we'll be having the Dora Bulldogs. Beautiful. Welcome back, everybody. And now we are joined by the Dora Bulldogs. Had a very great season last year with a region championship and also playoff appearance. But instead of me doing the introductions, I'm going to hand it over to the Dora principal, Ms. Paige Abner, that's here with us. Ms. Paige, if you will introduce your guys.
Glad to. Thank you, Brian, and thanks to everyone that's involved in this operation. It's always a fun event that we have every year. And I'm pleased to introduce to you this morning our Dora Bulldogs, led by our head coach, Chavis Williams, Dora graduate 2007. Everybody have a great day.
Coach, if you can make an opening statement, we'll turn it over for questions.
Yes, who we brought with us today is to my right, Garrett Hoagland, senior receiver, defensive back. To my left, Keyshawn Pryor, senior quarterback, linebacker, DB. Just thank you guys for having this every year. We look forward to this day. It's a step closer to football season, and just take the time to show appreciation to the communities that are heavily involved in sports around here. Coming over here just thinking about what to say. Last year was a stepping stone, in the right direction to win a region championship, first time in 10 years. And the goal of last year's team was to host a playoff game, and we actually got to host two. We came up a little short, and that left a bad taste in our mouth. And that's what we've been dedicated this all season to, was getting back to that point and, taking it all the way, maybe to the early December, playing in Bryant-Denny. That, of course, that is a goal of ours, not a dream. We're working towards that every day. We cannot do that without guys like this. And Corey Pryor, who's an excellent leader for us over there, who will be up in a little bit. Last year, like I just said before, winning the region title, we started off a little slow, but this team had to grow and gel. And like these two guys here and him, they've been with me since day one, and it's amazing to see how much they have grown over 3 years, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do this year. And like I said, we're just ready to go.
Coach, staff-wise, I'm just curious when you're going to bring Coach Saban on to coach defensive backs next. No, but seriously, can you give us a rundown of the staff that's new to them this year, and who are the old faces, and who's going to be doing everything for you?
Yes, sir. On the returning staff, first start out with Justin Blevins. He's a graduate of Dora High School, who a lot of people may not know. Called the plays for us offensively last year. We had some turnover from the year before, and he did an excellent job of stepping in, and being the calm guy on Friday nights and dialing up the plays. And he's a funny guy. Kids love him. Stevie Woods, also a graduate of Dora High School. He was with me at Carbon Hill. And he came over coaching our defensive backs. And the big part about Stevie is he also does the junior high, which we are very heavily involved with, trying to build a whole program from ground up. Austin Ivy, I actually coached him at Carbon Hill, and he's been volunteering with us. And the reason these guys, kind of look like freaks up here is a big deal to do with him, strength and conditioning. He's very dedicated in it. He's also innovative, and I'm proud of him, and we're glad to have him. Braxton Whitlow, a graduate of Dora High School, coaches our offensive line. He does a great job. Eric Talbert, he's been at Dora, guys, for 20-plus years. He coaches the defensive line. He actually coached me. So you're seeing a lot of similarities there with guys that graduated from Dora, and it's important to them to win. Try not to forget nobody. Michael Barrett, he coaches our receivers, and he's very tech-savvy. He does a good job, loyal guy. And the new face, Roy Upchurch, who me and him were college teammates. And, Roy, we went to seek out. We lost the offensive coordinator. We lost Jason Tittle, to Carbon Hill, which I'm glad for him. And this home, we wish him nothing but the best. But, going out for search for a coach, first we wanted to look for the best fit, and also somebody that, kind of thinks in the way that we're going toward a physical running game, play action, mix it up, a lot of formations, looking for mismatches, and couldn't think of a better person. He was previously at Pinson Valley as the running back coach and track coach, and, just having a conversation with him about, our plan, the way we were headed, it just fit perfectly, and he's kind of got in the mix early, hasn't been here really long. So this week, You know, we was off last week, so really ain't have time to have a lot of meetings, and it's just impressing me of the terminology that's thrown out there and all the stuff that's thrown at the kids. You know, I wouldn't say last year that we were kind of vanilla, but it was kind of like, you know, what was best for the team, but being able to evolve and do some more concepts of, I think the Dora fans are going to like what they're going to see. And he's a loyal guy, hard worker, family man, teacher first. He's actually a science teacher, which if anybody knows, you know, you get a coach that teaches science, there's a lot of respect for them because science is a big thing in school, you know. So we're tickled to have him in the school building as well. I know Ms. Abner is, and we're tickled to death that she hired him and we trust in him. And we got some volunteers too. Marquise Chapel, you know, he's a graduate of Door High School. The long-time volunteer, and we, you know, and I should have said this earlier, you know, this season we're kind of dedicating it to Bart Maddox. You know, if anybody from Dora know, he's been a volunteer at Dora for over 30 years, since the 80s, you know, the heydays of Dora football. You know, he's dealing with a little bit of illness right now, but he's going to be okay. But we talked about it Monday, and we're going to dedicate this season towards him, you know, just something. I know it's kind of off subject, but we had a big week this week of OTAs and 7-on-7s and dealing with his illness. You know, I get there Sunday to paint, the coaches get there, and he's the first one there. You know, he's not letting it hold him back. You know, our message to the team Monday was we should have no excuses at all. If this man can get up here and help us around here make it better for kids, what's our excuse? There is none, you know. So I'm really confident about our coaching staff. We're gelling together. There's a lot of loyal guys, great mentors for these kids.
Coach James Phillips with the Community Journal. You know, this is a time when everybody's getting excited about football season, and everywhere that I've been in Walker County, everybody's talking about the expectations for the Dora Bulldogs. How do you guys handle high expectations coming into this season?
Well, I know it's kind of cliche. We just ignore the ignore the noise. You know, control we can control. We like expectation. I wouldn't want to be nowhere where there wasn't any expectation. But with that being said, it comes down to daily work. You know, accountability, having goals, and doing whatever you can to reach them, and also leaning on each other. Football is a team sport, and I heard Herm Edwards say this best. It's the only sport where you practice 3 times as much as you play. So practice is really more important than the game. So if we take that approach of getting better every day, I think the games will be easier. And we got a good group of seniors. I mean, we got like 17 of them, and they're and I mean this when I say this, they're all good kids. And it's the longest group that I've been around at Dora, so I'm familiar with them, you know, 3 years with them. So, you know, we just handle the expectations of, in my eyes, of just it's expected of us to do good because we put in the work.
All right, Coach. Zach McCullough with WJLX here. It's along the same lines of the question you just answered, but last year, obviously, win the region championship, great season. How do you plan to build momentum off of the 2022 campaign?
Well, last year is over, so this is a new year, new team, and it was good to have some success for these guys, you know, and I'm hoping it's making them hungrier. And, you know what I'm saying, that last game left a bad taste in our mouth, so it's a little motivation to, okay, we have shown that we can play. Now can we sustain it and move on, and we're not going to sneak up on nobody. Everybody's going to give us their best game. We have a great region, and we have a great non-region schedule. Our schedule is pretty tough to start out, you know, with Aniani and Winfield. And these guys, you can ask these guys the same thing. It's just, you know, our goal is to play in the state championship and win it. That is our goal, you know, and we're going to attack that every day with a enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
All right, Coach, you've been a head coach since 2019. In that time, what have you learned about being a head coach?
To trust my assistants, and to, you know, trust the players and not be afraid to change if something's not working, you know, evolving. You know, it's an old saying, if you don't adapt, you die. So we've changed every year, I think, since I have been a head coach, and for the better. And, you know, expect loyalty from everybody around, and show love, you know, love towards the kids, and they'll show you it back. They'll run through a brick wall for you, and they know that we have their back, so they got ours.
All right, Coach. Would you like to see the Jasper-Dora rivalry restarted in the future?
Yes, I would. I would. Financially, it's a really big game. And that's a good question, Zach. The way I look at it, and this not sounding, arrogant or whatever, but we would like to play good opponents no matter the name. Of course, for both communities, being so close together, travel, like I said, financially. So yes, we would like to get that back started. And I'm sure it will. Everything has times. It's been in the past years, it has been a stretch to where they have not played for whatever reason. But if you're asking me personally, we would love for it to happen.
All right, my final question goes to both the players. Talk about your head coach and how it is to play under a coach that's he's played under Nick Saban in college. He's played in the NFL. So just talk about that.
It's really a blessing for us because he allows us to adapt and change. He teaches us everything that he's learned when he was playing. So to have a coach that was playing in the NFL and college under the best coach in college, he teaches us a lot. So we get a lot of things that normal players really don't get. So it just really prepares us for college. So we love him. We just can't ask for nobody better.
It's very fun, but like he's very serious. Like when it's time to go to business, it's time to go to business. Like he likes to cut around with us, play with us. But when it comes to football and it's time to go to work, you got to go to work because he's been coached by the best. We're being coached by the best. I mean, he does what's best for us. He always gives us a great game plan for our opponents, and we practice really hard for him. We do everything for our coach because we love him. But yeah, he's a great coach to play under.
Hey, Coach, Jonathan Bentley, Daily Mountain Eagle. Everybody talks about how good Dora's going to be and all the kids coming back, all the kids coming in. Is there a weakness on this team?
Everybody has flaws. We've lost a lot of good linebackers over the last 2 years. I think we talked about it the other day. We lost 9, that played meaningful varsity snaps, meaning when the game is tight, we've lost a lot of good players over the last 2 years, and we got some guys that, experience is, you can't teach experience. So if I had to say a weakness, like I say, it can be anywhere, but linebacker-wise, we're going to need some guys to step up in the secondary. We've lost quite a few players over the last 2 years. We didn't talk about that earlier, but we got one linebacker that's playing at Bethune-Cookman, which is a Division I school, Cole Chapman, who and that's been fun too. Is the process of getting guys to grow up, communication-wise. Cole, pretty much these guys tell you on defense, he kind of ran the defense, communicated everything. He made everybody else's job a lot easier. So we got guys like Jaden Griffin who not used to talking and having to talk, and my oldest son Josh Williams. So they having to talk, but. Weakness is linebackers and secondary of just because of youth, of inexperience. But I like my team. I love my team. I can't wait to see where we're going moving forward.
Okay, last question. The region was probably one of the closest in 4A last year. You see the same teams being in play again?
I think this region is very good. Like I stated before, let's start off with Haleville, which was very good last year. We were fortunate a year ago to come out of there with a win. They were very explosive on offense. Threw the ball about 50 times against us. I think we need an oxygen tank after that game, running east and west, north and south. They did a good job. I think they ended up coming in second last year, if I'm not mistaken. Corner, which is a huge rivalry game for us. For the last 5 years, they have been solid. They have been very good. I don't expect there to be a new drop-off there. They got a new coach, so we got to get some familiarity with them. Cordova's a rivalry game. all great program. You know, them guys are going to be hungry. And just to see them, you know, they were so close a year ago. You know, I think they were like 10 points away from being second or first or whatever. You know, so you got, anytime you look at stuff like that of guys coming up so close from one year to the next and all those seniors they have, you usually learn. You don't never. I'm not a big believer in losing. You learn. So I believe they'll be able to learn to close some of them games out. So, you know, you got Hamilton, got a new coach. He's an assistant. Was an assistant at Winfield. They're going to be better. They were young. I think they had an 8th grade at quarterback who was pretty good. Oak Grove, coach's second year. Usually you see a transition into getting better the second year. So they're going to be better. Northside, which had been the previous region winner. The style of play that they have presents some challenges. They kind of check your oil, if you know what that means. They're kind of going to see if you're ready to play real football. They're going to be good. I know I'm saying everybody's going to be good, but I'm just a big believer in respecting the game of football with no matter who the opponent is. So I think our region is going to be pretty good, and I think it can. I mean, it's whoever handles the situation the best and gets better every week who's going to come out on top. And hopefully our guys will do that. So.
Coach, we're going to have a second segment with some more of the player leaders that you brought in with us, but best luck for you guys this year. I know I can't wait to see, Dora, how everything goes this season. But once again, pleasure to have you guys.
All right. Thank you for having us. Go Dogs.
We'll be back with Dora Bulldog second segment and right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Now we have all three of the Dora Bulldog representatives, as Corey has joined us here at the end. So we have Corey Pryor, Garrett Hoagland, and Sean Pryor. And I got to lay off the coffee. I'm seeing double here. No, I'm just joking, guys. Seriously, though, you know, this past year just seemed like a lot of fun. All of you guys are back. Sean, you have a chance to be able to not only hook up with your brother and Garrett, but also Josh. They're all back, along with the line. I know it's got to be a fun time for you.
Yes, sir. It's a lot of fun. We're looking forward to this season. I got, like you said, Corey, Garrett, and Josh coming back. So we got a lot of experience. So we're learning. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Just looking forward to it.
Corey, go-to song when you guys are getting ready for game time. Who do you guys have playing in the locker room, artist-wise?
We play a lot. We have a lot of different artists as far as like 21 Savage, Gunna. We have Polo G, Lil Baby. It's just a lot, honestly. It's too much to name.
Goodness. Garrett, I know you guys, you have been through and playing kind of a multi-role in so many different spots these past couple of years, but to come into your senior year, how much fun have you had?
Had a lot of fun. Just playing wherever coach needs me to play. It's a lot of fun playing that sport, and just hanging out with my guys, man. Just teaching me how to play receiver first year going into it, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, and then we're going to take it across the table. One final question for all three of you, starting off with Corey. Most treasured moment up to this point for you in the program?
The most treasured moment I would have to say was yesterday, honestly. Um, there's a lot of moments I've had these past 3 years with my teammates, but I would like to say yesterday just because of the bond that I've built with my teammates such as Garrett and Sean and Josh, Cleveland Jones, Kate Chanel, Chug. It was just a lot of fun yesterday. We was able to compete. We was able to learn new plays. We was able to work together, be a team. It was perfect for me.
Garrett?
Yeah, this team this year we have a lot of chemistry, and I feel like every day we're bonding even closer. And yesterday was a big part of that because we were all little stumbled when the little confused on the plays because a new offensive corner came back. But now he taught us really well these past couple of days. It got us all figured out, and just a lot of bonding been going on, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Sean, you close us out.
I'm gonna have to agree with my boys here on this one. Yesterday was probably the biggest and most important memory for us. This season, we just feel like this bond that we have with each other, it's a lot tighter and we're bonding a lot earlier than we've done previous years. It feels natural. So, I mean, yesterday it was like a special moment for us. We're learning a lot. Guys are fitting into roles, so it's just different. But yesterday we had a lot of fun, and we just love each other. So it felt good.
Guys, we're looking forward to everything that you guys are going to do this season. I know it's going to be a special one, but especially for the three of you and the rest of your seniors on the team. So best of luck. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, guys. Welcome back, everybody. And now we have the Winston County Yellow Jackets joining us today. Coach Caleb Simmons is in his first year, inaugural season. The Yellow Jackets went to the second round of the playoffs last year after a 7-5 record. Coach, I'm going to allow you to introduce your two senior leaders that you brought in, and then we'll also let you have an opening statement before questions.
First of all, I'd like to thank y'all for inviting us. I think it's a really great thing y'all are doing for all the teams in the area. We really appreciate y'all having us here. Landon Nix is on my left. He's one of our guards, senior leader for us. Nick Moody is on our right. He's another one of our guards. They're both going to play offensive line, defensive line. We're expecting, great things from them.
Coach, there hasn't been a whole lot of transition time as you were named to the post not too long ago. How's everything gone up to this point for you?
It's gone really good. I've been really blessed to be in a great situation with a great group of kids and a really good community. The community's been really great as far as welcoming me in, and community's looking for success. They had a great season last year. So I don't really know if there's pressure, but anytime there is not any pressure, you're not doing something right. We want to have that pressure on us because if there is pressure on us, then you're doing something right. But it's been a really great transition. I'm really excited for the kids, and we're ready to get everything going.
All right, Coach. Zach McCullough here with WJLX. Your first game as a high school head coach is going to be against your massive rival, Addison. What are your thoughts about the rivalry itself and then this year's edition of the game?
Well, we're not really I haven't really looked at the schedule very much. I know that we do play Addison the first game. We're more concentrated on us and what we want to accomplish. We think if we do the things that we need to do to get better, then everything else will take care of itself. So that's what we're focusing on right now.
All right, Coach. What would you consider a successful season this year?
A successful season to me is you're better at the end than you were at the beginning. I consider these guys that all I got to do is put them in a situation to be successful, and we will be successful. That's really all you can ask out of the kids, in my opinion.
All right, Coach. What has it taken to become a high school head coach?
It's a lot of time and a lot of hours. There's a lot more that goes into it. Whether it's head coach, assistant coach, either way, it doesn't matter. There's a lot more that goes into it than people realize. But it's a great occupation, a great career, because you get to work alongside some great people, and you get to help out some great kids along the way.
Okay, Coach. Jonathan Bentley from the Daily Mountain Eagle. For the players, I know y'all have won 2 in a row against Addison. What makes that such a great rivalry?
Well, whenever we play Addison every year, it's just a good game, and it goes way back, and we just want to keep on keeping on.
Well, when we play Addison, we try to make everything all right, let me start over. Addison's a good team, and we're a good team. And every time we play, it's a really good game. We try to practice and make everything easy for us and try to win.
Coach, have you been brought up to speed on how big that game is?
It's a big game. I do know that. I've heard that a few times, in the last couple months. But like I said, we're concentrating on us and what we can do to get better. And after that, everything will take care of itself. But right now, we're worried about Winston County High School.
Coach, does the strength of the team start with these two guys?
Absolutely. Strength of the team starts with our offensive and defensive line, and our success is going to be based on how well we perform on both sides of the ball in the offensive and defensive line.
And before we break away, we're going to have members of the Winston County cheerleading squad join us. Ladies, if y'all want to lean in and talk to the mic, introduce yourselves and what year that you're each individually in.
My name is Lexi Flake, and I'm going into my junior year, and I've cheered all of high school.
My name's Maggie Tucker. I'm going into my junior year, and I've cheered my entire high school career.
My name is Rashay Moore, and I'll be a senior this year, and this will be my 4th year as a varsity cheerleader.
And ladies, how much fun has it been to lead the cheers for Winston County? How much fun do you guys have on the sidelines together?
It's been very exciting, loving to see these boys grow each and every single year, and I think that's what's been the best experience over the last 4 years, and I cannot wait to see what this season brings for us.
It's just an amazing experience overall. It's very exciting on the sidelines, especially when the boys are doing well out there, and we just really enjoy getting to cheer them on.
Football season is my favorite time of year, and I just feel like cheerleading brings everyone in the stands together to root for our boys, and it's just been so much fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, for all of you involved with Winston County, thank y'all so much for joining us. Best of luck this season. We'll be watching you guys. Up next will be the Oakman Wildcats. Welcome back, everybody. Before we begin with the Oakman Wildcats, we want to introduce a special guest that's going to help me out with the introductions. Hampton Hall, who was selected to be representing the Team USA in NST. Talk about that for just a moment in the honor of it, Campton.
Yes, sir. So they select maybe 30 players a year from each region, and you go to Cary, North Carolina, and you go up there and play some games, and they pick like 15 players out of that, and they go to a different country to like represent the USA and play against different countries. And so I have a chance at going to that. So it's
a humongous honor, I know, and I know you're very proud of it. And of course, you guys know these guys in front of us. It's the Oakman Wildcats at head coach Ryan Hall. Coach, I'm going to let you do the introductions and of your two leaders that you brought, and then also make an introductory statement before we begin the questions. Absolutely.
Okay, we're excited to be here and always grateful for the job that you guys do putting this on. Fantastic event. Means football's right around the corner, so that's also exciting. We're proud to be here and represent the communities of Oakman and Parrish, and we have players from both, and so excited to represent those communities. Proud to represent Oakman High School football, and very grateful for the opportunity to be here. To my left is senior offensive lineman Gage Blanton. He's been a 3-year starter for us on the offensive line. Tremendous leader in our program, has really worked hard at developing and growing as a leader. And does a great job just being dependable and all the things that we asked those guys to do. Again, he was all Eagle Elite last year, was probably our most productive offensive player. A lot of times the offensive lineman doesn't get that recognition, but he did. His play was really superb throughout the year. On my right, Trace Cagle will be a junior Mike linebacker for us, middle linebacker. Trace does a lot of things for us. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. We ask him to play defense, do a little bit of offense, punt. He does all kind of things. He's another great leader in our program. They're different kind of leaders. Trace shows up every day, extremely dependable. You can count him. He's also a 3 years. This will be his 3rd year to start. He started as a 9th grader, was injured in the 2nd game and had to have surgery. But both of these guys started on that 9-3 team, and so we're expecting big leadership, and they've got experience in big games and things like that. Also, fantastic young men. These are 2 of the best students that Oakman High School has to offer. There's fantastic leaders in our school, and great parents, supportive parents, and just proud to be here with these guys and be their coach.
Before I ask a question, Trace, has anybody ever told you look like the mayor of Parrish? Seriously, though, Coach, I know the wins are a little bit different than what we would typically see from Oakman last year. There was a lot of injuries, but on the flip side of that, that means a lot of guys got experience. So talk a little bit about the guys that may have not been able or ready to play last year, but kind of got thrust in because of injuries and inexperience.
Sure, we basically got everybody back. We lost our blocking back on offense, Aiden Martin, who was a fantastic player for us. But all those guys that played last year returned, and we're excited about that. I think 2 years ago, Jonathan asked me a question here and said, is this the most experienced? We had 13 seniors. He said, it's the most experienced team you've ever had. And I said, yeah, it probably was. And we're kind of in that same boat now. We've got about 13 guys coming back that played every meaningful snap for us last year. And as far as the season goes, you got to kind of look at the big picture of did we grow? One of our primary goals at Oakman always get in the playoffs, because when you get in the playoffs, gives you the opportunity to play for the big prize, and that's number one. And we were able to accomplish that last year, and with a very young team. And now we're a year older. We learned a lot, grew a lot. These guys became better leaders, had to take on some things that they had not had to do previously. So, again, we're excited about having those guys back. On defense, we return every starter that play. Everybody's back on defense. With the addition of a couple of guys that did not play football last year that I think will help us too. On offense, we've got everybody back with the exception of Aiden Martin, and we've been able to move some guys around to create a little. That was one of our big issues last year. We kind of faltered late, fatigue, things like that. When you have to play 12 guys, 120 snaps, that happens. So we're going to build a little more depth, and now some guys will be on the field this year and be able to be effective where we couldn't really put them out there last year because they were a little bit young and inexperienced.
All right, Coach. Zach McCullough with WJLX here.
Let me stop right before you get going, because I know you're about to ask me something that's tough. I know that. But Zach played wide receiver for me when he was, how old, Zach?
6, I believe.
6. He's still the best reverse runner I've ever had in all the 20-something years of coaching. He runs the reverse better than anybody in the history of reverse. So I don't want to recruit you on camera, but we're looking for a guy to run that reverse, Zach. The HSA don't need – all right, go ahead. I'm just kidding. That's my man right there.
You're too kind, and I will say for the record, I moved my feet a lot, but I didn't go very fast. I don't know where you're getting that from, because I was probably the slowest player on the team. But to the questions now, your team was 9-3 in 2021, and it dropped to 3-8 in 2022. What is it going to take to right that ship?
That's a great question. Always. To win football game, I always say it's hard to win one football game. Like, it's hard to win a game. To win 9 is tremendous. To stay healthy, for things to go your way. I mean, you have to have a lot of things that build upon a year. One injury at our level in 3A can kind of destroy your season. You've probably seen that as much football as you guys have covered. So it's a little bit of luck. You got to have good players. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, our coaching staff, we have a great coaching staff. They didn't just fall asleep in 2021 and wake up in 2022 and forget how to coach. You know what I'm saying? Players have a lot to do with it, and experience. Not necessarily talent, but just being on the field. Those guys in 2021 or 22, 21, those guys had played since they were in the 9th grade. Every snap. They had hundreds of snaps. We didn't have that last year, so experience is one thing. Staying healthy is another. Improving along the course of the season. Our guys have been committed in the weight room. We need to get stronger. We need to get tougher, a little bit tougher mentally. Some things that we had to work on, but I feel like they've done a great job of doing that. So to answer the question, we got to stay healthy. We got to be lucky with the way the ball bounces a little bit. We got to use our experience now that we have, and we're going to have to compete all the way through. You know who's in our region. Everybody in here knows that.
Right, Coach, you just mentioned your region. Could you elaborate on that? When you're playing Winfield and Gordo and Fett in the same region, they're 3 of the best teams in all of 3A.
Absolutely, and then you go down. Let's just start below that, okay? Like, midfield's going to walk some dudes out there that can play, and they're going to have 2 or 3 guys on the field that can score the ball from anywhere on the field. If you fumble the ball, they can pick it up and score it. Very dangerous. Terrence going to be exactly the same way. They got a new coach. And, of course, you're familiar with Carbon Hill, the coach there. DJ's going to do a great job. He's one of my closest friends, and I admire the way he coaches, and I have no doubt that that'll be a tremendously improved program. And then you get to the top half where you're going to go through Fayette, Winfield, and Gordo. And everybody knows about Gordo. They're going to have athletes. They're going to have a bunch of them. That's kind of the big difference in them and us is they got 62 guys standing over there. We got 35. And where does that – it's like last year. It's 21-7 in the third quarter, and next thing you know, it's 48-20. It happens like that because they just wear you down with numbers. Winfield's the same way, Fayette's the same way. So, we got to find a way to equalize that, neutralize that a little bit. And in the past, we've tried to shorten the game a little bit, maybe try to keep their players off the field a little bit. But, hopefully we'll be able to do that. But very, very good top-end region. But I would expect those bottom teams, every one of those guys can beat anybody on any given Friday night.
All right, Coach, my final question. You touched on in the opening how you coached flag football for several years. How would you say coaching flag football has helped you as coaching high school now?
I don't know. You stumped me, Zach. No, people are people. Kids are kids. Relationships are relationships. It doesn't matter if you're 6 years old playing flag football or you're a 17-year-old senior that's been with me that long. To me, I want to coach to be a part of young people's life and help. What I do, I want it to transcend beyond football. And so, whether it's flag football at Nazarene Church on a Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning when I sort of think I want to go watch the Alabama game, or it's coaching on a Friday night in front of 5,000 people in a playoff game, it still is going to boil down to relationships. And, every time I see you, I light up, Zach. It makes my day to see you sitting there doing that. And that's what coaching is about to me. So I took everything that we did there in terms of relationships and trying to maintain. Every time I see you, that's what I want to do no matter where I am. So that piece of it is probably the biggest. Now, we still run an out and a go and try to pick on the cornerback. Same stuff. We just do it a little bit different, but great question. And at the end of the day, it's all about relationships and people and connecting and, just trying to help each other. Not just me helping you, but you helped me. these guys help me. They help me grow every day, and just kind of using that as an avenue to improve as a human being and become a better person.
Coach Jonathan Bentley, Daily Mountain Eagle. So, do you feel like you're the elder statesman of the county now?
I don't know. Maybe I'm the dumbest one of the county. I don't know, but I mean, it's like this is 5. This is the 5th time I've been here, and guys, the business is different now. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit up here. It's tougher to coach, I think, today with some of the demands placed on you, and it's tougher to get kids out to play. There's a lot of challenges that go with it, but you know, I don't know if that's why maybe people fall. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, I've hung in there. But you know, I know this. You know, in a job like this, you rent it. You don't own it. You know, there'll be another coach at Oakman someday, and I'll be long gone. And your rent's due every day with how you build a program, how you treat people, how you go about your business, and hopefully along the way that our coaches, we have a great staff, and you know, they do a great job of really, really building relationships with our kids. And I hope we can do that long enough to stay in it long enough to impact young people. And you know, if we can do that, that's a win for us. And I know my day's coming. There's a day where it'll be somebody else up here at Oakman High School, and you know, but I mean, that's kind of the nature of the business now.
The Gordo game was kind of close. Cordova was like that. I think it was 7-3, maybe in the 3rd or 4th quarter. Does that come down? Is there a chance you play some guys one way this year, and maybe to combat?
You're not supposed to be asking stuff like that, like before we play a game, John. Absolutely, depth is an issue, right? You go out there and like both of these guys right here had to play 125 snaps, right? So that's cool for about 60. You can go about 55 or 60. But once you get beyond that threshold of 60, 65 plays, I mean, performance goes down. And the thing is, if you don't have a guy, just to use an example, Caden Marchbanks 2 years ago, his 60% was a lot better than the guy on the sidelines, 100. You know what I mean? Well, that wasn't the case last year. So these guys had to keep plugging and plugging and plugging, and sometimes they're playing at 50%, and it's just, you know, you're going to wear down. And you know, so, yeah, part of our plan when we go back and what can we do different? Get in the weight room more, be in better shape, get stronger, try to play some guys one way to try to alleviate some of that, utilize them, you know, in different ways. So develop some younger kids, trust some younger kids. So absolutely, hopefully we can do it where we can play some guys just on defense and just on offense. Now, when it comes down to it, the 11's going to be out there that win the game, obviously, but hopefully we can do a little bit of that along the way.
Okay, last thing, talk about some improvements around the school, the football field. I guess that parking lot will be done this year, right?
Yeah, I actually cut the grass on the practice field this week for the first time, so you know, that's going to be a big addition where we don't have to use our game field all the time. We had a field house renovation that we'll unveil tomorrow and a tailgate party about 5:30. That anybody that's an Oakman football supporter, we'd love for you to come out and see that. It's really nice, first-class deal. We're going to recognize every All-State player in the history of the program all the way back to the 30s. We renamed the field house Alumni Field House and really did some nice upgrades to it. So, you know, love for anybody that wants to come out and check that out. We'd love to have you tomorrow at 5:30. But a lot of history in Oakman, a lot of people that support it, that love Oakman High School, and really grateful for their contribution to that.
Hey guys, James Phillips with the Community Journal. This first question is for the players. Coach talked about turning it around from 3-8 last year. What are you guys? What is y'all steps that y'all have taken to make a turnaround?
I mean, you know, we just went to work this summer. You know, spring, summer, showed up every day, worked out, got in the weight room, conditioned. You know, we've just done more than we ever have. I feel like as a team, we've gotten closer, we've built better relationships. And I mean, we've just gotten after it this off season.
Piggybacking off of what he said, like, you had the argument last year that we were young and unexperienced, but this year I feel like we're really going to be able to step it up with all the work we put in, and like he said, we have gotten stronger and built better connections. So I feel like we're more ready, most definitely.
And Coach, if you'll tell us a little bit about your staff, if you've had any changes, who all's back, that sort of thing.
Yeah, awesome question, and I love to talk about them. They're phenomenal. Coach Painter and Coach Duke, they've been with us since we got there. Coach Painter's our defensive coordinator. Coach Duke is our defensive line coach. They've been there since the day we walked in the door. Fantastic builder of people, and really thankful for them. Coach Jeff Ward coaches our special teams and our secondary. He's also our head basketball coach. And he's just a tremendous relationship builder, a kid magnet. The kids love him and does a great job of that. Coach Jace Trotter is our offensive coordinator. This will be his second year on staff. He's an Oakman legend, and grew up there, played there. And another guy that just does a great job with the kids and building relationships with them, and great teacher. He's a math teacher, so he's really, really articulate with his teaching. And, where Coach Painter's more of an energy guy, he's going to bring energy to practice every day. He's going to demand a lot from the kids. Coach Trotter's more teacher and really analytical about things and does a great job with planning and preparation. We have 3 volunteer coaches. Coach Sowell, who helps with our offensive line, Major Langley, who also helps with our offensive line, and then Coach Vic Crow helps with the D-line. So that's our staff. We also hopefully add, I think it's official, but Jack Spradlin, who was a kicker at Dora, will also join our staff, and obviously he'll help with the kickers, but he'll also have some other responsibility. And, I can't say enough about those guys. Those guys are fantastic. And again, same philosophy, same mindset in terms of how they treat the kids and trying to prepare them for life and coaching through football.
Coach, closing question for you. You guys in the regular season against a very good Meek team to kind of hone yourselves up before you go into playoffs, playing a high-level playoff team. How helpful is that going to be with a different look to be playing a high-profile opponent like that?
Obviously it is what it is. You better be sharp when you get there, and there's not like you don't go in that game and rest people and take people off. But just think about this. Think about this stretch. Fayette, Winfield, Gordo, Meek, and then whoever you play in the first round. So if we're not battle-tested and ready to roll by the time we get there, something's wrong. But so, there's some negatives to that kind of schedule, but I think if you can get through it, I think it can be a huge positive because you're ready for everything. You've seen different styles, different type of offenses, and things like that. So Meek obviously presents a challenge. Tough kids, hard-nosed, good players, good coaching. But it'll be a great opportunity for us to hopefully we do what we're supposed to do on the front end, prepare to play in a playoff game.
Coach, Trace, Gage, thank you so much for joining us. We're looking forward to seeing what the Oakman Wildcats are doing this season. Go Wildcats, and thank you once again.
Yeah, just appreciate you guys. And to close it out, you guys do a tremendous job of promoting our kids and promoting high school athletics. And, all of this stuff's about creating moments for these kids, and you guys are a huge part of that, and we're very thankful for you and appreciate you guys. Go Wildcats.
We're going to be back with the Curry Yellow Jackets next.
Good job.
Welcome back to Media Days. We're downtown Jasper at the Pie Factory, and we're going to take a break just for a second. Talk to one of our sponsors, Capstone Health, who is they're outside giving away a pair of tickets to Rock the South. But we're going to talk to Amber Elswick. Amber is the operations director at Capstone Health. Welcome, Amber.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about Capstone for a moment. What services do you offer?
We are your one-stop shop. So we offer family health, family care. We also do women's health, men's health. We also have referral sources if you have substance use or dental. We also do optometry services. We have translation, transportation, you name it, we can take care of it for you. So,
I know you have several locations. You want to tell us about where those are? And I know you have a new one that's going to be in Nauvoo. Okay. So you have Parish.
We do. We have Parish. That's our first location. We opened back in 2001. We've expanded, and we have now a new beautiful building right there on Highway 269. We also have our Summit location. We actually moved to that recently back in September in Jasper. So it is right beside the surgery center across from the hospital.
Okay.
So we're there. We have Nauvoo. We'll have the new building built hopefully sometime next year. We have our West Jasper location. That's in the old West Jasper Elementary School. And we have Double Springs. We're up in Double Springs. And then also we have one inside Jasper High School. We have our first ever school-based health center in the high school.
I knew you had 3 or 4, but I had no idea that you had expanded that much. But that's great. And one thing else is you guys have a new look, a new logo.
We do.
Tell us about that.
Well, we've been here in Walker County, and we've expanded to Winston. We've been in operation for over 20 years. We have grown from just the one small clinic in Parish to now 6 or 7 locations, and we just felt it was time to have a fresh start, a new look, a new name, and we're just happy to be here and to continue to serve our community.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for being a sponsor of Media Days and for being here. Once again, you can register for a pair of tickets to Rock the South just outside the door here. Thank you, Amber, and we're going to come right back in just a minute.
Welcome back, everybody, to WJLX Media Days 2023 of the Wal-Win area. Right now, we're with the Curry Yellow Jackets. Head coach Jace Cordell is making his debut season with the Yellow Jackets. Coach, we're going to let you introduce your two leaders that you brought and just make an opening statement before questions.
Okay. All right, to my right, this is Caleb Allred. He's a quarterback and defensive back. And to my left is Cody Cook. He's a linebacker and fullback for us. And, I'd just like to thank y'all for having us here. It's a great opportunity to get these guys, some camera time and media time. They're a little nervous, but we're going to get through it. And, it's funny to, God leads you to places, and, I believe that, he led me here, and that, to do something for this community and these kids that, they've not been accustomed to. And, we're going to bring a toughness and a physical brand of football to Curry and give them something that, they can look forward to and hang their hat on and have some success that they've not been able to have in the past.
Coach, starting all the way back at your playing days, you've served under both as an assistant and as a player under so many great and legendary coaches. What are the main things when you went into this season? What have you learned from them, or what have they told you that's really stood out?
Well, I've been very blessed to be around a lot of great coaches. I've played for some really good coaches, and I've coached with some good coaches. And you always take some things away from them that you're going to use, and you take some things that you don't want to use. Anytime you coach with people, you're never always going to have the same thing. You got to be able to work with each other and figure out what's best for the kids that you have each year. And I believe I'm going to be able to take a lot of that, and with the coaches that we have, we'll be able to piece together the best situation and format for these kids to have success.
Coach James Phillips with the Community Journal. You saw Curry last year. They had some forward momentum. How do you guys build on that? And this is for you and the players. How do y'all build on last year's momentum moving forward?
You want to take that?
It just starts by being there every day, and you lost a lot of guys, and you just got to get new young guys in to build off that, and just be a leader for them, and so they'll carry on your legacy and be better for the team that coming next year.
Coach Emerson, he did a great job last year. These guys, they've you can tell that there's been some discipline instilled in them, and we're gonna ramp that up, and we gotta become mentally tough before you can be physically tough. Okay, so we're going to bring that, and I'm really challenging the guys this summer. I believe we're working harder than they've ever worked before, and for us, that's how we're going to find success. We're going to outwork people.
All right, Coach. Zach McCullough here with WJLX. Who are some young guys that have stepped up during practice after losing all those seniors in May?
Well, right here, these are two guys that I can count on. They're at every single workout. Every time the doors are open, they're there. I don't never have to worry about whether these are going to be there or not. Football is a tough sport for tough people, and I'm sitting beside two tough ones right now. We've got several more that are like that, and several more that that need to get on board with it. And that's been one of the challenges since I've got here. Is trying to instill confidence in these guys. We weren't spending a lot of time in the weight room when I got here in the spring, and we've since been able to make some adjustments to our schedule, and we're going to be able to spend a lot of time in the weight room starting in the fall, and we already have been this summer. And I believe that's going to be a huge factor for us going forward over the next several years. And, it starts in the weight room. That's how you build confidence, build strength, and, you're able to, impose your will on somebody where we're not able to if we're not getting adequate time in the weight room.
Coach, now you're a head coach of a high school football team. So what has it taken to finally get to this point?
Well, it's just been, a lot of hard work and, dedication and persistence. I'm very thankful for, Curry allowing me the opportunity to lead them in this program. And, I'm going to give them, everything I got, work hard as, anybody's ever worked for them before. In the past, you just kind of play your role and do your job and keep your head down and keep grinding, and if the opportunity presents itself, you'd be happy to take it. And, it just so happened that, this opportunity was made, and, I was happy to jump on it.
Coach, would you like to see the Carbon Hill-Curry rivalry resumed in the near future?
I would love to see that happen, and I'm going to do all I can to make sure we can get that back in the works. We'll reclassify as far as, the regions, and everything will shake up differently maybe next year, and we'll find out when we've got some openings for some different, non-region games and things like that, and we're going to try to get Carbon Hill on that schedule and maybe a couple other schools closer. It'll be good gates and, good competition for these kids. We're going to strengthen our schedule up as much as we can, because if we're going to play at the level that we're wanting to play at, we're going to have to up the competition on our schedule.
Coach Jonathan Bentley, Daily Mountain Eagle, what would you tell Curry fans they can expect to see from this team this year?
Well, I think that the Curry fan base, they can come out and expect to see a very tough physical brand of football, and, maybe some lower scoring matchups, but that's all right. We're going to play hard-nosed defense. We're going to fly around. The defense is going to be one of the best parts of our game. But our offense, we're also going to keep the ball away from the other team too. So I think it's going to be a old school brand that some people can really come and get behind and enjoy watching.
And talk about the staff this year.
Our staff, this will be a short conversation. It's me, and I got Coach B.J. Baker. He's been at Curry for several years. He's going to be my offensive coordinator, and I was able to hire Coach Garrett Stacks. He's a Cordova alumni, and he played at Huntington College and was an assistant GA coach at Troy in college. So he's been around the game for a while. He's going to bring a lot to us in the weight room and, with the defensive line and offensive line as well.
Caleb, Cody, I'm going to pose my last question to both of you guys. As far as goals individually that you guys want to accomplish this year, you yourselves, what do you want to accomplish?
I just want to get better than I was last year. You just get 1% better every day. Just be the best version and play the best I can. Just help the team out as good as I can.
Caleb?
I'd like to be a better leader for the people around me and help build the team around me, because there ain't no I in teams. So you build the guys around you, and you'll see results very fast.
Gentlemen, we appreciate y'all coming out to Media Days so much. We're looking forward to seeing what the Curry Yellow Jackets are going to do this year, but best of luck on the season.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back in a few moments with Dr. Ann Jackson of the Jasper City School System. Welcome back, everybody, and now we have two special guests with us, Dr. Ann Jackson, Superintendent of Jasper City Schools, and Jasper High School Athletic Director, JJ. Jonathan Jordan is here with us. First and foremost, Dr. Jackson, we'll turn to you. The state of overall athletics among all the Jasper City schools is just superb. Take a moment and brag on the state of everything.
Okay. Well, you know, we have often said that if we can hit the 3 A's, athletics, academics, and the arts, that we will be able to plug in most all of our students, and that they will find a niche, hopefully. And certainly our athletic department has taken all of our sports to a new level. And we're certainly proud of what they have accomplished. We do have a new softball facility that we are working on and excited about. As well as the track. That's been a long time in coming, and we are hoping to have the track up and running, no pun intended, by the school year. So we're very excited about that. And of course we have Coach Reeves that we are thrilled to have on our staff, and just excited to see all of the good things that's going to be happening this year.
JJ, to follow up with that, I know one crowning moment for everybody, state wrestling championship. Not only individuals, but overall as a team, both at the tournament level and in duels. I know that's something that you guys are proud of, and it just seems like you guys have a wintertime buzzsaw in between the basketball teams and wrestling. So here's your chance to brag on Jasper's athletics.
I would love to. It'd be my honor to brag on them. You mentioned the wrestling program, Coach Tripp Otis. And I talk about this every time I talk about Tripp and our wrestling program. When he first got to Walker High School, when we were still Walker, we had 6 wrestlers in the program. And this year we won the traditional and the dual state championship. We filled every single weight class. I can't say enough about the person that Coach Otis is. And Coach Hezzy Morgan is his assistant coach, and he's not bad himself.
Absolutely.
So we feel like we've really placed an emphasis on non-revenue sports. And Tripp has just done a fantastic job with that program. You talked about winter sports. Can't say enough about the job that Heath Burns has done since coming in. We won 24 ball games last year. That's third most in school history. We were 1 game short of making the regional tournament. So he really came in and just brought a sense of hard work. And there's a love for each other in that program that you can't fake. Those kids love each other. They love the coaches. They love playing for each other. And they're probably in the gym shooting right now, open gym if I had to guess. So they just have really done a fantastic job. Blake Laney's the head women's coach. Our women's team was fantastic last year. I would argue it's probably the greatest team that's ever come through our county. They lost 3 basketball games total all year, and they were all to eventual state champions. They lost a game to Trinity, they lost a game to Hazel Green, and then they lost to the eventual state champion in 5A Pleasant Grove. So, that team is just a fantastic team. They work really hard. Mia Hollingsworth will be playing for that team this week in the North-South All-Star game at All-Star Sports Week. Missy Odom was named Player of the Year. She was a Max Preps All-American. They're supremely talented, and they have a great coaching staff with Blake Laney and Vess Hollingsworth. And so they just do. And Jackie Key is an assistant coach there, and they do a really good job with that program. Going back to fall sports, Coach Daniels just keeps reeling out championship level teams. He's about 50 wins shy of 1,000 for his career, and we won 52 last year. So we think that could be definitely attainable for this team. Elena Hadaway's returning. She's an all-state player, along with Allie Grace Sailors. And they'll lead that team. We really like their chances. They got beat out in the Elite 8 last year to a really good Gulf Shores team. So we like what we have coming back there. Swim is a fall sport. They made it to the state championships last year. The guys, actually Ryan Hall's nephew, Sailor Painter, is a fantastic swimmer. We think he's going to be a state champion this year. They finished in the top 10. We're really excited about what Coach Reeves is going to bring to the football program. He's made a couple of really good hires that we like. The kids are excited. I went to watch them yesterday at an OTA. They really played hard, and you're going to be thoroughly impressed with the young men that we bring in front of you today. They're the best we offer at Jasper High School. Those are the kids that we produce. And in saying that, I don't know if there's many schools in the state of Alabama that currently have 3 student athletes at service academies. So we're excited about that. We have Mason Slaughter at the Air Force Academy. We have Stephen Williams at Annapolis at the Naval Academy, and then we have Thomas Ward at the United States Military Academy.
And Keely Davis
at
West Point.
Keely Davis is at West Point. So that's what we're trying to produce. A lot of times they say, what impact does high school athletics have on students? Well, we don't know 15, it's 15 or 20 years before we actually know the impact. But that's the kind of young men and women, that we hope to produce at Jasper High School. And we feel like that the coaches that we put in place with them are as good as anybody in the country. And they're great mentors to our young men and women. So we're just excited about where athletics is at currently, and we're really excited about where it's going.
Lastly, in closing, Dr. Jackson, we'll turn back to you. You touched on it, academics and arts. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous programs. I'm always amazed by the Viking band, how great they do. Cheerleaders on the sideline are just part of it, but then there's the academics and arts. Your cooking program is phenomenal. Just so many things that you could brag on.
You're right. And we are very proud, especially of our band. We, they have done a phenomenal job, and so Mr. Lipscomb has done a great job. I think we're anticipating 185 students being in that program this year. So that says a lot. And of course, those kids will be plugged in for years to come, hopefully with music. We do have a lot of our kids that have gone on and on music scholarships, and we're very proud of that. And as you said, our cheerleading program, our dance line, we feel like they are all exceptional. Academically, we are adding a theater program to the junior high. And as you know, I hope you've seen our center stage program. Our kids do an amazing job with theater. Faith Butler does an incredible job. They put on Oklahoma, which was no small feat, and it was exceptional. So.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on, both of you, and giving us an overall picture of academics and athletics through the Jasper City Schools. Next up is our final team, the Jasper Vikings. We'll be up after a short break. Welcome back, everybody, to WJLX 2023 Wal-Win Area Media Days. Instead of me doing a little bit of introduction, I'm going to allow Athletic Director Jonathan Jordan to do a little introduction before we hand it over to Coach Reeves.
Awesome. We're so excited to share these young men with you guys here today. We have two of the very best that we have to offer at Jasper High School, two three-sport athletes. Braxton Houston is a fantastic person. He plays football, basketball, and baseball, and he's a real leader within our school. The young kids follow him, and he's a great example. And to my left here is Titus Waldrop. Titus is also a three-sport athlete. He's football, basketball, and track, and he's everything you want in a young man. He really plays the game the right way, and I think the young guys feed off of him. And then obviously our head coach here in the middle, Coach David Reeves. We're really excited to get Coach Reeves into the program. When you go look for a football coach or anybody to lead young people, you try to find the best people you can find to mentor young men and women, and we believe we found that in Coach Reeves. He's coming to us from UAB. He was a member of Bill Clark's staff. He was the defensive coordinator there for a long time. He was a two-time Broyles Award semifinalist, which goes to the top college assistant coach in the country. So we're excited for you to meet our three folks.
Thank you, JJ. Coach Reeves, if you will, please make an introductory statement, and we will turn that over for questions then.
Okay, yeah, so blessed to be here today. Now, I will say it's hard to follow greatness. We just had our magnificent superintendent and athletic director up here in front, and I'll tell you, one thing I do want to say for both these young men, and also from my heart of hearts, is with the support that we have from our athletic director, Jonathan Jordan, and from Dr. Ann Jackson, and from Miss Gail Crump, who wasn't here today. It's really hard to get anything done without those people. So I feel very blessed for this opportunity and for all that those three people do for these young men right here and our athletes, all of our student athletes at Jasper High School. So we're excited about the season. We know we're going through a process right now, a learning process, a growth process with some of our young guys. But with leaders like on my left and right here with Titus and Braxton, both of those guys are on our leadership council. We have another one out in the audience that's on the leadership council. We have the right kind of leadership. These guys are going to steer us through the process of a coaching transition, of maturing young players who are going to have to be in a contributing role for our team. And I've got all the faith in the world that moving forward, leadership from these guys as well as the rest of our leadership council is going to what helps us through some adverse times. Been coaching a long time, never seen a perfect football game, never seen a perfect season, but I am very excited about the future of Jasper football and what these young men are going to bring to the table.
Coach Reeves, if you could, give us a rundown on the staff who will be coaching with you this year.
Okay, yeah, our staff, we'll start on the offensive side of the ball. It'll hurt their feelings if we don't start with the offense first. So we'll start with the offensive guys first. Our offensive coordinator, Bo Chapman, is here. Coming to us from Gordo, will be our offensive coordinator. We have Tyrone Prothrow working with our receivers. I think everybody knows Tyrone is his reputation comes way before he does. I've known Tyrone a long time, so we're very fortunate to have both those guys. We've got Josh Walls. Some of y'all might remember was a quarterback here at Jasper who's going to be helping us out. We're very fortunate to have him, and working with our O-line is going to be Calton Roy. The funny thing about it is all those guys I just called out on offense, they're also going to be coaching on defense. We don't coach one side of the ball. They're going to be coaching both sides of the ball, but that's their primary position. On defense, we'll have Coach Kyle Butler as the defense coordinator and the linebacker coach. Coaching the secondary, Charlie Travis. Just want to make sure I don't leave anybody out, y'all. At defensive line, it'll be Coach Matt Carr. We just hired a young man, Sage Harden, who will be also helping us out on the defensive side of the ball. And those guys are just the same. They'll be coaching both sides of the ball as well. We're going to do everything we can do at Jasper High School to get our best 11 players on the field. So that's a rundown. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but that's a staff the best I can remember.
Coach Jonathan Bentley at the Daily Mountain Eagle. You've been here a couple months. I know it's kind of a basic question, but what's been the biggest change for you?
Boy, Jasper's a wonderful place. And so the change, the football is football, and you know, I just feel so blessed to come into young men like on my left and right and the rest of them that are there. And so the change hadn't been from a football standpoint. I mean, we still work hard. You know, maybe we get to go home at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock instead of 10 or 11 because there's not recruiting, you know, which takes up a lot of your time. And so I'll tell you, I'm really about to eat myself into another clothes size with all this extra time, you know, to sit around and eat and stuff. And so there's really not a lot of change in how we work and how we approach the game. I mean, football is still, in my opinion, one of the best ways to help young people understand discipline and accountability and make that transition from being young men into grown men. And none of that changes. The work ethic doesn't change. Our approach doesn't change. Maybe it's just a little bit less time. So,
the strength of the team, Coach.
Sir?
What do you think will be the strength of the team?
The strength of the team, I think, is going to be our leadership. I think it's going to be our leadership. I think the young men we have, they're hungry to be successful. They're hungry to do things right. You know, they're hungry to win, you know, and when you get a group of young men that are hungry to do it the right way, you can take a small group and take over a country. You know, and that's what I think about these guys. Their mind's in the right place, their heart's in the right place. We have some really good players that are going to take us through this growth, through this process that we're going through right now. But at the end of the day, I think the strength of our team is the leadership.
All right, Coach. Zach McCullough here with WJLX. I mean, you can be in Jasper for any short amount of time involved with the football program, and you'll hear about the rivalry with Coleman. This year it's a road trip. So what do you think about that rivalry from what you've heard in your first few months on the job?
It's a road trip?
Yes, sir.
I thought they had to come to Coleman. I mean, I thought Coleman had to come to us.
It may be. They do?
Well, now let me tell you this either way. I used to not like Coleman, and now I like them even less. You know, that they, you know, there's some good guys. There's some good guys over there. You know, their new defense coordinator was actually my GA at UAB. I've known Coach Stith sit through the through the last several months. He seems like a good guy, but it really doesn't matter. We just don't like Coleman. You know, when I wake up a lot of nights in the middle of the night thinking about Coleman and thinking about that game. We're going to do everything we can do, you know, to play as hard as we can play on that night. But we do. I got a lot of respect for them and the job that they do.
All right, Coach. Who will replace Spencer Rosenfeld behind center?
You know, it's hard to replace a guy like Spencer. I don't know that you can replace him. The athletic ability that he brought to that position, you know, you can just see it on tape. He's a guy that I actually took back from Jasper to our offensive coaches at UAB. He was that talented, so it's not really a replace him. You know, I would look for the first game for it to probably be Tanner Morrow. You know, it's a different type of game. He brings a lot of different weapons to the table than maybe Spencer. So it's going to be hard to replace him, but you know, Tanner's going to step up and do great things for us.
All right, Coach. What do you think will be the key to a playoff run this season?
You know, we're going to have to stay healthy. You know, we're going to have to stay healthy, and you know, we're going to have to just take it 1 week at a time. It's hard for me to look out that far into the future. You know, I trust the process. You know, and the process that we're going through right now of figuring out who we are and figuring out the level that we want to play at, the intensity that we want to play every play with. And so it's hard for me to look out that far. I know that if we do those things, then we'll just let the chips fall where they may as we move into this season.
All right, Coach, final question. Would you like to see the Jasper-Dora rivalry resumed?
Yeah, you know, I like rivalries, you know, and whether it's the Coleman rivalry or the Jasper-Dora rivalry or the Jasper-Cordova rivalry, you know, I just like it when things matter. Now, the great part about being in Jasper is every game matters. You know, it's not anybody. You know, y'all just asked about a hatred of Coleman, and I was just teasing on the hatred part, but we really do have something for them. But you know what? On Friday nights, we're just going to play the same every week. You know, no matter who it is. And once you get to that level where you're hardwired just to be the same every time, no matter who it is across from you, well, then it just becomes a team in a different jersey. So we're going to approach them all the same. I like it for the community. I know it means a lot, you know, in all the communities to get together and you know, razz it up and do a bunch of talking. But we're trying to get to a spot where we just walk out and we are the same every week. Game 1, game 10, game 15, whatever the game is during the year, you know, that's who we want to be.
Coach Brett Elmore, WJLX, I want to welcome you to Jasper and talk about, we had a game scheduled, the opener against Manchester, Georgia, and that fell through.
Yeah.
So it looks like maybe that Coleman game will be the first game. And what's your thoughts about maybe a shortened schedule a little bit with missing out on that opening game?
Right.
And I have to agree with you about the Coleman sentiment because I agree 100%. But what's your thoughts about maybe not having that opening game, not having to make that long road trip, first of all? Right. And then also I want you to dive in to the region. I think this is one of the toughest 5A regions in the state, as we saw last year in the playoffs. What happened?
Any week, but especially a week 0 week. I'm excited about the 9 games. You know, I'd be excited if we played 13 games, if we play 6 games. I'm just excited about watching our guys go out on the field and compete and represent the community in Jasper. You know, a shortened schedule, excuse me, is not something that really I think about a lot, or you know, it's really going to be problematic. You know, we'll have a break in the middle with the open week, which I always think is good for the players. It's good for the coaches. It's good for everybody to kind of step back for a second and recharge. So if we get another game for the 24th, 25th, then that's good. And if we don't, then we'll just pour all our energy towards the opening game. Our region, man, we feel like it's one of the toughest in 5A. You know, it is. We have a state champion out of our region. We have the team that the state champion beat in the semifinals out of our region, and that's fine. I mean, that's how we want it to be here. You know, we're not trying to pretend. We're not trying to play people that aren't the best. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to play the best, and that gives us an opportunity to measure not just where we are, but where we want to be. So we're really excited, and you know, that's the top 2 teams. I mean, after that, you got some very athletic teams. You know, we have some very disciplined teams that come with a hard-nosed physical mentality about them. You know, in our 2 non-region, with it being Coleman and Homewood at the end, I mean, you're biting off a piece of you know, some really, really, really good 6A programs, and that's what we want to do. That's who we want to be, is play those people. Obviously, the players and myself were all disappointed that the Manchester game kind of fell through, of nothing to do with us. We were looking forward to the bus trip and taking Jasper on the road, you know, and letting everybody see what our young men are about and who we are. Fell through, disappointed. They're one of the best teams in the state of Georgia, so we wanted to go play them. That's what we wanted. So there is some disappointment, but 9 games, 8 games, we just want to line up and play. We're excited about the season getting here, but we're also excited about all the work that we get to put in between now and then to make sure that we're prepared.
James Phillips, the Community Journal. For the players, talk about your new coach and what you guys have been impressed with so far.
Well, first off, I just want to thank him for coming here because I know it was a really tough decision from going to UAB to come here to Jasper, and but I know all of the players, me, Braxton, Tanner Morrow, the QB, and then the rest of the young guys, that we're very grateful to have him here because he knows what he's talking about, and we believe in him, we trust him, and know that he's going to give us what we need to have for us to be successful.
Yeah, touch on what he said. He's going to lead us in the right direction and where we need to go. I have a lot of faith in him, and hopefully we can do what we need to do to win games this season.
And Coach, you talk about your reception so far just from the community and how you've been received here in Jasper.
Absolutely amazing. You didn't even have to get that question all the way out. I mean, the reception here in the community as well as in the school system has been phenomenal. The reception from the players, the hunger and the willingness they show to buy in all the way and really try and make something special has been amazing. I haven't been many places where it's been this good. And, you know, it's something we talk about. These guys will tell you on a daily basis, you know, when we're sitting in our field house and I'm talking about all that's happened before me and before them even to make Jasper exactly what it is. You know, with great tradition, man, that's great, but with great tradition comes great responsibility, you know, and I feel it on my shoulders. The players feel that responsibility to represent what's been built before us, and I don't look at it in a bad way, man. I love it when guys come up and man, I played here in 1978, and it's special to me. Man, we did this in 19. Man, that means something, and so I want to do my best, and I know these guys and the rest of the team wants to do their best to make sure we honor that tradition that came a long time before we did.
Braxton Titus, in our last closing question, I have been asking so many of our leaders what they would like to see as their individual goals they want to accomplish this year. I want to also add team goals onto it as you guys seen it. So, Braxton Titus, talk about the goals. What do you guys want to accomplish both as a team and individually this year?
Well, I just want to say, first off, for me, I want to set a good standard for the rest of the young guys that's behind me. I just want them to be something they can look up for and be ready for next year. And the team goal, I just want us to go out there and leave everything on the line. Don't leave nothing behind. Like, when you step on that field, it's time to lock it in and just put everything you've been working for, put it in that game, and to even go further than what we did last year, because I know the seniors, juniors, and sophomores, what it felt like on that field after we lost that playoff game. And I know we never want to feel that hurt again, but we're going to try to leave everything on the line and leave nothing behind.
Braxton?
Yeah, just to set a better example. I know a lot of guys set a really big example when I was here, so I just want to leave that same example. And my individual goal is to just be a better leader and get everybody to come along and just leave everything we got on the field and finish games how we need to and just win games how we need to.
Gentlemen, we appreciate meeting all of you and you all coming out today for Media Days. We look forward to it. Of course, we're going to be broadcasting your games each week. Jasper Viking Network, Brett Nelmore and Woody Wilson doing the calls, and we'll be having all your exploits. But thank you so much and good luck this season.
Thank you. Go Vikes.
We'll be back to wrap it all up just a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are ready to close out WJLX Media Day Wal-Win 2023. Guys, it has been a phenomenal media days. We got through some problems yesterday. Today has gone really good, and I tell you what, it was great seeing everybody. Zach, Bass, what you guys' thoughts?
Go ahead. All right. Well, first off, I just want to thank the entire WJLX crew for having this. I mean, it was wonderfully put on. Brett and Lexi and Sebastian and Terrell. I forget your name sometimes.
Look, you can call me whatever you want to at this point.
Okay.
You know,
and of course, Brian. I mean, it was really wonderfully put on. And like you said, we had some technical kinks to work out, but it really just showed the professionalism of this group, and it was an honor to be up here.
Yeah, it's always an honor here, and everybody did such a great job. You know, we did have some technical difficulties yesterday, but you know, nonetheless, though, it's been a great day, great 2 days here at the Pie Factory. Really a lot of expectations coming out of these football teams, these programs this year, and I think it's going to be another great season in our area.
Terrell, an excellent interview with Amber from Capstone. Good to see them. They've been such a pillar of the community for so long. It's a great job on that. Of course, this young lady right here, Alexis Hale, my daughter, is now on the staff, and she's been doing a good job helping keep all of us straight. We want to thank Randy Felding. Randy's pictures has been absolutely stellar throughout the years. This was no exception. He was our first Community Service Award winner back in the wintertime, and he deserves it. So a big thank you to Randy. Also, we want to thank as well, number one, Scott McCullough, Zach's dad, for helping getting Zach around, and also kind of lending a hand with a bunch of stuff. And of course, we also had representatives from the Daily Mountain Eagle, from the community leader. We're glad they joined us, but all the other students, athletes, and the coaches were just phenomenal guys. We put it into it, but you almost have to say yourself, can't wait until next year's too.
Yeah, and you know, it's always a bigger event. You know, it's going to get bigger and bigger, and we're going to keep expanding it. So I know next year's going to be even bigger, and it's going to be another fun one.
I agree. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, once football season ends, it's kind of a dead area around football, and then this just jump starts it, kicks it back off, and then you got all the studying to do for picking games and articles to write and all that. But I really look forward to it, and this is just one thing that I love, is doing this.
Well, and we're remiss with one person, but he's doing everything behind the scenes. The boss, Brett Elmore, has been doing everything, getting the videos up. He helped design our name tags, and he has done absolutely fabulous. So as usual, we want to thank him. But for all of us here at WJLX, we are ready now officially. Football season in this area has begun. We cannot wait to see everybody out there. So for all of us here at WJLX, Brian Hale, Zach McCullough, Bass, Terrell, Lexi, and Brett, signing off. Thank you for joining us.